Good morning, friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. It's Saturday morning, and before we get a pretty major storm, I'm going to try to get a few more sleeves in the ground and maybe do some weeding. So it's supposed to start raining anytime, but I'm kind of desperate to get some work done out here because we have today, starting sometime today, I think this afternoon, there's a major storm coming through, which we could get upwards of 3 to 4 inches of rain and very high winds, damaging winds. So I need to batten some things down. I need to move stuff into the shed. But I really want to try to get some stuff done before that hits, because then after that, so that's Sunday, major storm all day Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is also supposed to be rain. And I need to be working. So I'm going to try to squeeze in what I can here in terms of fence post sleeves. If it's still, the rain is still holding off, or at least not torrential rain this afternoon, Mike will be coming out, but he's got an appointment in the city with Aiden today. So that's where they're at right now. But maybe he can come out and help me with a few of these. I really need to get that ranunculus bed weeded because I can almost not even see ranunculus. All I can see is grass. So I'm going to try some of these sleeves first, use up some of my energy, and then I can sit in the mud and weed grass out of ranunculus beds. But, you know, any little bit is progress. So I'm going to grab my gloves. It's chilly out here, but hammering these sleeves in, I'll get warm pretty quickly. Also, I just checked the IBC tote, and we are up to 160 gallons. So we're approaching it very nicely. And I think this coming rain will really, really help with that. All right, I'm going to get started. As I was laying out the flags for where the posts are going to go, I looked back and I noticed that the silage tarp blew off part of the beds in the last rain. Actually, it wasn't the rain, it was the wind. So I need to put that back down, but you can see it's working. It's still going to be, I think, 2 weeks before I have to plant in here, but it is starting to work. So I definitely want to get this recovered right now, and I have more bricks, so I'm just going to load it up, because the winds in this coming storm are supposed to be higher than the ones we just experienced. So I'm gonna go in and get this re-tacked down before I keep working. Okay, that's done. I added more bricks. I think it's going to be okay. What I'm going to do right now is quickly go through the front beds here and weed what I can, and then I'm going to start tackling the ranunculus bed in the back. I don't know how far I'm going to get before it starts raining, but I got to at least give it a try. I did buy a cultivator attachment to our electric, basically it's like a multi-use tool. We can string trim with it, we can hedge trim with it, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I bought the cultivator attachment, not for the beds, for the pathways, because what I've heard from a bunch of people is that if I cultivate the pathways, which are full of grass, 3 to 4 times this year, I might be able to beat it back. I'll still deal with it in the beds to some extent, but yeah, in the pathways, like, yeah, it's nice to have grassy pathways, but it totally covers your beds. It encroaches on the beds. So I'm going to do that, but I can't do it until the soil dries out a little bit. Right now it's just muck, and that would destroy the tool. So I'm going to run through these really quick, hand weeding, just where I can. Not everything needs it, but I want to try to get as much as possible, and then I'm going to start working on the back ranunculus bed. I still haven't made it down to the other ranunculus bed, but I did do a pretty thorough job on these 2 beds and started on this one. So I was able to pull back all of the grass here, and I actually went through and weeded because there's like a native sweet pea that grows in here, and it's such a vining mess. So I was able to get through all of this, and that's good because these haven't been weeded in quite a while. The ranunculus beds over here, I'm going to leave for now because they're pretty clean, and I have recently planted all those corms. I want to give them a chance to start germinating, coming up. This is what I need to tackle next time I come out. You know, it's not as bad as the other beds were. I mean, obviously there's still a whole lot of grass, but it's not as bad as the others. So I think I'll be able to get this all done in one day, but it is starting to drizzle, and I'm really hungry because I haven't eaten yet today. So I'm going to head home for now, and I think everything will survive just fine through the wind and rain. I do want to show you some cool mushrooms though. It's basically mushroom season here in California because we have our rains. I am not a mycologist. I have no idea what these varieties are, and I wouldn't even attempt to try to harvest any of them, but they are really fun to see. You can see underneath this one, you can see all the gills. They actually circle this entire oak tree. It's a complete circle, which is kind of funny. So here's the oak tree back there. Starts the circle, goes all the way around here, and all the way to the other side. However, I think there are some, now this is a different variety. Through here, but I just think that's really funny. Mushrooms everywhere. It's too bad I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, if you don't know if a mushroom is poisonous, it's poisonous. So, I love mushrooms, but there is no way on earth I would harvest those and try to eat them unless I was out here with a skilled mycologist who knew what those were. That's going to do it for me today. I got a lot done and was able to put in this whole row of fence posts. The sleeve's going in much easier now that it's really wet, and since we're getting ready to get 2 to 3 inches of rain, I think it'll be even easier. I mean, you can see, like, it's just goopy mud everywhere. Thank goodness there's some vegetation growing, because otherwise you just wouldn't be able to walk out here. It's just a big slick, mud slick. But it's probably going to be sometime late next week before I can get out here again, which is a bummer. I don't know, maybe in the next couple days after the major storm passes, we'll have some intermittent breaks where I can come out for an hour and work. But I really need to move compost to 2 of those 4x6 beds down there, because I need to get the poppies and the nigella in the ground, direct sown. I was supposed to do that this week. There's no way, because it's just been too wet. I can still wheel compost in the rain, but it's so slippery. we even on a dry day right now, that I think trying to do it in the rain when there's rain actively coming down this hillside, I think that's just ridiculous. So we'll see. Maybe a little bit late on the direct sowing, but that's all right. They'll still bloom. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful time in your gardens, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.